2018 Audi Q5 SUV Review. The good points of Audi Q5 SUV: build quality, balanced handling, impressive efficiency, air suspension option. The bad points of Audi Q5 SUV: evolutionary looks, expensive options, S-tronic slow-speed reactions. Despite its sanguine looks suggesting otherwise, the second-generation Audi Q5 SUV is founded on different underpinnings, with A5 coupe voluptuousness over the flanks, as well as a chunkier Q7-esque grille lending an aggressive air for the front end. Depending about the model, it's also shed nearly 90 kilograms of heft. As before, the Q5 carries a fearsome ensemble of competitors, the BMW X3 and Mercedes-Benz GLC R-Vine, contrary to the Audi, as the Land Rover Discovery Sport and Range Rover Evoque mount atop a wrong British assault. Further alternatives add the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, the Lexus NX along with the evergreen Volvo XC60. Second-generation Q5, a similar, but different, assembled at purpose-built facility in Mexico. There's a better degree of aluminum and high-tensile steel found in the Q5's construction. On this occasion it's both stronger and lighter, that latter aspect benefiting overall efficiency. It also cleaves the environment more effectively than any one its SUV rivals, which has a drag coefficient of 0.30, that is relatively low just for this size and shape of car. Technology and also the whole SUV sector have moved along a lot since the first Q5 appeared, while using second-generation model employing lots of the benefits of the most recent features. An improved MMI multimedia interface with a lot more responsive voice control may be the centerpiece on the impeccably well-constructed new cabin. It now is like it fuses the styles from the A4 and Q7, no great surprise with no bad thing either. Outside you'll spot niceties like the optional LED matrix headlights that automatically adapt their beam patterns to road types and climatic conditions. But the tour de force you're feeling rather than see could be the adaptive air suspension. That also costs extra, but ought to be top of your priority list if you're able to stretch going without running shoes. By allowing your vehicle to be raised by around 45 mm in off-road mode, the Q5 becomes far more capable from the beaten track, competent to traverse terrain that may halt models with all the standard suspension arrangement. It's never going for being a rugged go-anywhere SUV. How the Quattro Ultra all-wheel drive product is not permanent on 2.0-liter models and has now no technique of locking drive to every one four wheels sees to that particular, but it's more capable than you'd expect. Petrol and diesel power plants. Audi will flesh your Q5's engine range during 2017, but from the launch there is a limited variety of one petrol and another diesel to select from, joined early in the year by a petrol-swilling SQ5 performance model. That headline-grabbing model requires just 5.4 seconds to try and do the 062 mph sprint, due to its 354 horsepower turbocharged 3.0-liter engine. The more mainstream power plants are fitted exclusively with all the 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch automatic gearbox and part-time Quattro Ultra all-wheel drive, whilst the SQ5 possesses an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic. We're currently owning a 190 horsepower 2.0-liter TDI Audi Q5 on our long-term fleet, so make sure you keep an eye about the page once we provide frequent updates on the its prefer to live while using Q5. Familiar Audi range structure to the Q5. Don't award yourself any prizes in the event you guessed the Q5's trim level hierarchy that you follow the tried and tested say, Sport and S-Line format. Audi's been perfecting this blog for years. The higher performance SQ5 is effectively a trim level by itself. Most need to plump with the S-Line version, but there's you don't need to feel shortchanged by saving some brass and going for that say, though only 5% of buyers are required to do so. You'll still get 18-inch alloy wheels, xenon headlights with LED day running lights, leather upholstery, 3-zone climate control and keyless ignition. You'll need to go for at least the Sport and the event you fancy Satanov and S-Line for LED headlamps, though. Latest deals from Buiacar. Audi Q5 2.0 TDI Quattro say 190. £33,990, or £459 monthly. Audi Q5 2.0 TDI Quattro S Line 5. £35,000, or £442 a month. See all deals on Audi Q5. Representative example, representative APR of 7.9%, borrowing £10,509 over 48 months on HP type finance. The exact amount payable will be £250 on a monthly basis, having a total cost of credit of £1,483 and also a total amount payable of £11,992. Dennis Buiacar Limited, 3132 Alfred Place, London, WC1E7DPGBO915105. It is often a credit broker regulated by FCAFRN:667368. Audi Q5 SUV model history. January 2017, second generation Q5 open to order with first deliveries from April. Only 2.0-liter TFSI petrol and TDI diesel available initially, each having a choice of say, Sport and S-Line specifications. Standard gearbox may be the 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch automatic. February 2017, there's a 354 horsepower 3.0-liter V6 petrol engine with the 8-speed Tiptronic automatic for your second iteration with the Audi Q5, on the market to order mobile phone. June delivery. Gray exterior detailing and different bumper and grille treatment differentiated from your less powerful models. Watch the total Audi Q5 SUV review how good this premium crossover in fact is. 2.0-liter petrols and diesels with the mainstream range. Petrol Power 4S Q5 Performance version. V6 TDI due in 2017. Lower-powered models may follow. From launch, merely a pair of 2.0-liter engines, one petrol, additional diesel, were available, but during 2017 performance to the Audi Q5 range was uplifted using the introduction from the SQ5. Efficient TDI diesel. The mainstay on the Audi range for a long time now has been 2.0-liter diesels, so it's no real surprise that a 190 horsepower version fitted having a 7-speed dual-clutch S-tronic automatic gearbox and part-time Quattro Ultra all-wheel drive is expected to become the most popular choice. Peak torque of 400 Nm can be acquired low down within the rev range, from 1,7503,000 revolutions per minute, making it easier to get into the Q5's accelerative power from low speed, ideal for exiting junctions or completing safe overtaking maneuvers. That power delivery feels linear with just a slight lag on the turbocharger. Top speed is 135 miles per hour, even though the 062 miles per hour sprint takes 7.9 seconds, so it's hardly slow. It's also pleasantly refined, although its quietness was accentuated because of the double-glazed side windows on our test cars. Like many vehicles fitted with dual-clutch transmissions, the S-tronic can establish hesitant when pulling clear of a standstill or crawl, whilst the software has the transmissions act together. This can be disconcerting at roundabouts, and was more apparent inside diesel versus the TFSI petrol. You do learn drive an automobile around it, though, and then for most buyers this TDI will be the engine to choose. Punchier TFSI petrol motor. Audi expects approximately 40% of UK buyers to find the turbocharged 2.0-liter TFSI petrol power plant with regards to Q5s, an area amplified by fears among London residents that extra charges might be levied against diesel-engined cars. It's also the pick from the 2.0-liter range for all those seeking to maximize performance as an alternative to lower their running costs. 252 horsepower and 370 Nm of torque from 1,604,500 revolutions per minute ensures it's an exceptionally flexible performer, gathering momentum impressively and progressively. Audi quotes a high speed of 147 miles per hour along with a hot hatch-like 062 miles per hour duration of 6.3 seconds. Unsurprisingly, it's a hushed mechanical unit, erring tubing raspiness in lieu of screaming for mercy after you press on harder. Petrol power for second-generation SQ5. While the primary SQ5 employed a diesel engine, this occasion it shares exactly the same 3.0-liter V6 TFSI 354 horsepower power plant using the related A4 and S5 models. There's 500 Nm of torque on tap from 1,370 revolutions per minute by means of 4,500 revolutions per minute, enough for any 062 miles per hour duration of 5.4 seconds. Top speed is electronically limited by 155 miles per hour, no S-tronic twin-clutch gearbox here. The SQ5 uses an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic instead to cope while using extra torque, sending drive to every 4 wheels using a full-time quattro system. It's undeniably fast in the straight line but never feels particularly dramatic. Rivals much like the Mercedes-AMG GLC 43 provide more theater as the SQ5 is extremely businesslike inside the way it gathers pace. The gearbox can be another bit Jekyll and Hyde to start with, sleepy to use responses when set to D and overly keen dropping gears in S. The best middle ground involves utilizing the steering wheel mounted paddles to decide on gears by yourself, and on this mode the SQ5 is rewarding their driving. Future Q5 engine options. During 2017 a 3.0-liter V6 TDI will augment the diesel offering, complete using a Tiptronic fully automatic gearbox and permanent quattro 4-wheel drive. There's a possible chance that a set of 2 lower-powered 2.0-liter TDIs can also make it on the UK sooner or later. The 150-horsepower edition also available that has a manual gearbox and front-wheel drive, however these aren't a part of any immediate plan. Audi remains tight-lipped around the prospect of whether plug-in hybrid or full electric e-tron version in the Q5, but we all do expect a racier RSQ5 with this model's life cycle. Handling is extremely competent although not exactly fun. Ride quality with optional air suspension impresses. 2 modes for off-roading enhance the Q5's appeal. You won't choose an Audi Q5 as it offers by far the most thrilling driving experience from the segment, nonetheless its handling characteristics are well balanced and conducive to earning brisk progress in comfort. There's one significant caveat here. All on the Q5s we've driven thus far have been fitted together with the excellent, but optional, adaptive air suspension system. Models fitted with standard steel springs and conventional dampers, and also adaptive ones, will probably be sampled on poorly surfaced UK roads, as will the high-performance SQ5. Audi Drive Select is standard along the range, allowing various aspects from the Q5's handling parameters, throttle response, transmission shift pattern and steering response to become varied or mixed dependent on personal preferences. Steering's an area Audi's had to endure criticism with in the past, but this Q5, along while using A4 and A5 ranges it shares its underpinnings with, came on significantly. There's an enhanced higher-level feel throughout the wheel itself, more so after you switch to dynamic mode, although we will have liked much more weight within this setting. The ride height of mid-air suspension can be controlled through the Drive Select system by toggling between its different modes. Most helps keep it in auto for your majority with the time, but comfort's an excellent option for traversing poorly surfaced asphalt or applying motorways easily, isolating you further on the outside world. It still feels controlled and composed, though, not suffering with exactly the same degree of floatiness you'll experience within a similarly equipped Mercedes G-Class. Dynamic mode sharpens the Q5's responses, reining in body roll that bit further, yet while it's immediately firmer, it's not jarringly so. Sharper ruts still believe that their edges have already been rounded off. Flicking for this mode also lowers your vehicle by 15 mm. If you're meaning to venture from the beaten path along with your Q5, then your allroad boosts the ride height by 25 mm and off-road an additional 20 mm. Higher modes are certain to get plenty of use, increasing ground clearance to generate traversing trickier terrain, something you're able to do confidently. In these modes the ride quality isn't as soft, but feeling those extra bumps and crevices keeps you more attuned towards the surface conditions. Sportier Q5 tightens up handling. The fastest Q5 to be had, the Q5 offers a remarkable handling and road holding for any car this size, paying homage to a large hot hatch. Grip levels are huge, together with the Quattro system clinging on the tarmac with neck-straining ability, and body roll is kept well in order, providing you pick the dynamic drive mode. The only complaint really is while using steering overly light and without requiring feel. This doesn't happen inspire confidence just like the setup in more driver-focused cars such as Porsche Macan. As an effect, the Q5's best product is done that has a little performance kept in reserve, instead of being driven at 10/10ths. As such, it makes to get a superb grand tourer. Beautifully made cabin. Feels special or else innovative. Few blind spots, excellent visibility. With the marque's wholly justified reputation for your supreme quality of the company's interiors, there's no surprise that this Audi Q5's cabin is definitely an exquisite put in place which to invest time. Like the Q5's exterior, its passenger compartment doesn't stray clear of Audi conventions regarding how it looks. Here it feels as though there's a fusion of A4 and Q7 taking, and that's no very bad thing. Plastics from the upper reaches and the dashboard possess a satisfyingly deep amount of squidginess, while it is all totally assembled basic accuracy into incredibly tight tolerances, that it feels as though it will last for several years and still be just like it was on the beginning. Expensive feeling switchgear feels delightful, make use of and is beautifully weighted, reinforcing the Q5's premium positioning, although we remain unconvinced around the multimedia display that now stands proud in the dashboard using a permanent basis, as an alternative to be ensconced within its domain or glide effortlessly from sight. It uses very little. Audi's not the primary to use this tactic, also it cites an individual preference for having these table taping screens on show all in the time. Should you wish to create your Q5's cabin feel all the more special, you may push the boat out financially and opt with a 12.3-inch virtual cockpit, a configurable screen that replaces the typical instrument cluster, or perhaps the excellent head-up display HUD that projects data on top of the windscreen. Best to pick one or one other, both is like overkill? Finding a good driving position is well achieved, whether or not top seats are electrically adjustable, and also the steering adjusts for distance and angle. All-round visibility's decent, too, helped because of the Q5's third side windows and slender windscreen pillars. Air suspension improves Q5's comfort. Leather seats and 3-zone climate control. Rear seat would be considered a squeeze for 3 adults. One aspect how the first-generation Audi Q5 majored on was comfort, and yes, it features all the more prominently second time around. It's worth reiterating that thus far we have only driven the Q5 fitted together with the optional air suspension system, which serve as one in the most cost-setting experiences within this corner from the SUV market. Even from the appropriately titled comfort setting, the Q5 remains composed, rarely suffering in the kind of nausea-inducing floatiness that blights the Mercedes GLC when equipped that has a similar sort of suspension. Most Q5 buyers are hoped for to choose the S-Line trim, that includes 19-inch wheels. Even with those, in dynamic mode, passengers are really unlikely to complain about being jolted about. As per the course norms, you'll find 5 seatbelts inside Q5, although seating a quintet of adults comfortably will become a challenge, especially using the narrower, firmer center rear seat. For up there'll be no grumbles, with decent head and legroom plus a fine view out in the elevated seating positions. The seats themselves feel completely supportive. All front chairs come with an electrically adjustable lumbar support, while standard leather trim helps to make the cabin believe that bit more special. Only S-Line versions have rear privacy glass and acoustic side windows to limit exterior noise entering the cabin as part in the standard package. 3-zone climate control features through the lineup, enhancing comfort that bit further. Wind noise is low, but some types of road surface do amplify the tire roar, although it's effectively drowned out after you turn on the head unit. 4 trim levels such as the Q5. All are generously equipped. Extensive and expensive options. The familiar specifications of say, Sport and S-Line were joined after that launch with the sporty Q5. Standard Audi Q5 SUV equipment. If you can remember the days when say, for special equipment, was the pinnacle in the trim hierarchy, it's time and energy to get together with the times. Here it denotes the entry point to Q5 ownership. Audi doesn't expect many buyers to go because of this trim. Survey the surface and you'll see the 18-inch 5 twin-spoke alloy wheels, xenon headlamps with LED day running lights, and full LEDs with the rear. Grills and trim information and facts are black, either matte or glossy based on their location, contrasting while using aluminum roof rails. Once aboard you'll see the leather upholstery, heated front seats, 3-zone climate control and aluminum trim inlays with the dashboard and door panels. The rear seats broken into 3 parts in the 40 hours 20 minutes 40 seconds configuration for extra flexibility, even though the tailgate is electrically operated. Many with the Q5's controls are operated from a greater MMI multimedia interface system, displaying using a 7.0-inch color monitor. There's no sat-nav, but you may connect your smartphone using Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, while Bluetooth connectivity, a couple of USB points and SD card watchers along with an aux-in point supplement the CD player, a rarity on contemporary cars. DAB radio and 10 speakers complete the infotainment package. Driving the C-grade Q5 you'll be competent to take advantage from the cruise control, parking sensors, autonomous emergency braking, keyless starting, a power parking brake and comfort-biased suspension. Audi's Drive Select system also means that you can vary the parameters in the engine's responsiveness, automatic gearbox shifts and climate control effectiveness. If you decide upon the middle or Enking Sport, the differences are surprisingly few. The alloy wheels will still be 18 inches, however they are now of your 5-arm star design, as you move the grille inserts are finished in twilight gray. Moving on the cabin, the normal front seats are already exchanged for just a sportier pair with electric lumbar adjustment, whilst the interior's bathed in ambient LED lighting. There are 2 upgrades to the MMI system, 2, sat-nav and Audi Connect, that permits access to an array of online services. Next up inside the Q5 range, and supposed to account for almost 2/3 of sales, is S-Line, which can be even sportier than Sport, and demonstrate it's fitted with 19-inch 5 twin-spoke star alloys, beefed-up model-specific bumpers and body kit, along with darkened privacy glass for the rearmost windows. Expect the ride to get firmer, even so the handling more agile thanks towards the firmer S-Sport suspension. The headlights are actually upgraded to full LED units, even though the rear ones are hallmarked by dynamic indicators. The beam of amber light pulsates outwards with each flash. There's a smattering of S logos inside the cabin, including ones embossed into the leather and Alcantara sports seats. As you move, the sportier lever and gear lever are trimmed in perforated leather. Topping the lineup will be the performance-focused Q5. It looks very similar to your S-Line but is differentiated by 20-inch versions of the identical alloy wheel design, electrically adjustable seats with fine Nappa leather upholstery, along with the upgraded MMI Navigation Plus multimedia system. Optional Audi Q5 SUV accessories. 11 metallic and pearlescent paint finishes supplement the 2 main standard choices. Having an array of alloy wheels as much as 21-inch diameter support greater personalization. We're currently running in S-Line spec Audi Q5 long-termer. Watch about some on the optional extras you may choose from, here. 2 suspension choices listed. The adaptive comfort system permits a penetration of control to vary the firmness while using the Audi Drive Select, but for more control, comfort and enhanced off-roading capability, the greater expensive adaptive air suspension gets our vote. Usefully, Audi has bundled quite a few key options into packs, although lots of the component parts are sold as individual options to suit varying budgets. Adaptive Cruise Control Plus Pack. Distance Regulation Cruise Control is joined by Predictive Efficiency Assistant, which uses sat-nav data to advise the driving force on how to become more efficient, or maybe match the area speed limits automatically. There are also 2 anti-collision technologies incorporated into the system. Comfort and Sound Pack, electrically adjustable front seats, keyless entry, hands-free tailgate along with an upgraded Bang & Olufsen subwoofer. Light and Vision Pack. The 12.3-inch virtual cockpit is joined by an increased penetration of interior LED lighting, with 30 hues from which to choose, and LED matrix headlights which turn off sections of light to allow for main beams to stay partially on without dazzling oncoming drivers. Parking Assistance Pack. 360-degree camera positions are supplemented by an automatic self-parking function. Parking Assistance Pack Advanced. As the name suggests, it builds upon the aforementioned pack with blind spot warnings, a rear cross-traffic mindful of warn the motive force of oncoming traffic when reversing from a space and exit warning to advise occupants of oncoming traffic before they open a door. Technology Pack. Enhanced MMI system with 8.3-inch screen, 10 GB disk drive for music storage, DVD player and wireless smartphone charging for compatible devices. Vision Pack. Fully digitized 12.3-inch instrument binnacle, a head-up display HUD system to project key information to the windscreen and automatic main beam function. 5 stars when crash tested by Euro NCAP. All have partial LED lighting and all-wheel drive. So much remains around the options list, though. As expected, the crash testing experts at Euro NCAP awarded the Audi Q5 an entire 5-star safety score when that it was assessed. Among the protection highlights, every Q5 gains advantage from our LED day running lights and tail lamps, part-time quattro all-wheel drive full-time within the Q5, cruise control, autonomous emergency braking, a pop-up bonnet for enhanced pedestrian protection, automatic lights and wipers, 2 ISOFIX child C8 mounting points within the rear seats and 6 airbags. What we're disappointed about is the place where much with the plethora of innovative safety equipment remains on the excess cost options list. Although S-Line and SQ5 versions have full LED headlamps, Audi's matrix LED units are extras on all models. These ones power down portions of light in order to not dazzle oncoming cars once the main beam is turned on. It's worth noting that automatic main beam lighting is additionally extra. Similarly, Audi's excellent head-up display system that projects key information including speed and sat-nav directions on top of the windscreen can also be optional. Fancy Adaptive Cruise Control, a 360-degree camera, blind spot warning, cross-traffic mindful of advise you of oncoming vehicles when reversing from a space, and even a clever system when a warning light flashes in case you're going to open a door with cars approaching from behind. Well, they each cost extra, too. If you're getting a new Q5 and possess funds to waste on options, think carefully about whether you will need those larger alloy wheels or even an upgraded sound system over something that helps keep you and your passengers safer. Not one of the most spacious but on par with rivals. Electric tailgate adds further convenience. Would you risk ruining the lovely interior? Despite the premium finish and price in the Q5, buyers of the family-sized SUV still expect a sensible level of practicality. Sensible as what they get, too, for your Audi doesn't set new standards in capaciousness. Rear seats up. The 550-liter cargo volume is on par while using BMW X3 and Mercedes-Benz GLC, though with them folded over it's 50 liters shy of the 1,600-liter capacity. Land Rover's Discovery Sport rules the roost here with around 1,698 liters. Still, it's great. Therefore you do have the extra bonuses of both an electric-operated tailgate and also a rear seat that split folds inside a 40 hours 20 minutes 40 seconds arrangement, allowing long, slender loads being accommodated in addition to carrying 4 passengers comfortably. If you order your Q5 while using optional air suspension, a bonus with the system is which the rear from the car is usually lowered by 55 mm to help you the loading of heavier items. Poke about the passenger compartment and you also get the usual mixture of lidded cubbies, door bins, cup holders plus a usefully sized glove box, all nestled into those high-grade interior plastics.